Christ, and welcome again to another day that the Lord has made here at the Sons of God Church. The Father has given me a lovely word to share with you, and of all the words I've ever heard, and of all the words He's ever allowed me to share in His behalf, this word is one of a kind. It's the best ever. It has never been introduced to this human society before. But today, the Father will share of His heart concerning love is. We have many definitions of love, many observations of love. All of these observations and definitions of what someone told us, right? What's his name? Webster? We all follow what he told us, right? That's one of the people that we follow. Webster is a man made by God, used his knowledge from the tree of knowledge of good and evil to make definitions of his own accord. The same thing that the Father told Adam to do. Go and name things, and they will be as you named them. Webster decided to name things and spread them throughout the whole world. Everybody believe what I say about this. This is my defined definition of black, Afro-Americans. Right? Right? Sons of God, you better hear me today. The Father says, I don't need you to trust in the intelligence of the world. What the world has taught you about love is wrong. You've been deceived. This is that deception from the very beginning. You better hear what I have to say today. Love is. Is it affection? Is love adoration? Is love a feeling, a sensation, a gratification? Is that love? Maybe it's a pleasure, an enjoyment. Maybe love is a satisfaction. Maybe it's a friendship. Could it be a personal enjoyment imposed of another? Did you hear what I just said? A personal enjoyment imposed of another, and you call that love. Well, somebody gave me some food that I like, and that's love. Somebody always let me do what I want to do, however I want to do it. And I consider that to be love, because they told me that's what love was. Somebody lets me eat hamburgers every day, and that's love. Lets me be the parent in the house and say it's my family as a child. That's love. Seriously? The Father has something to say to you. So where was this deception birth of love? Where did it first come into existence? This counterfeit identification of love. So where was this birth of defiant love introduced? Let's begin at the beginning. In the book of Genesis chapter 3 verse 16, the word of love was then introduced into the world. It says, when the woman saw that the tree was good for food. Are you seeing love now? It's a sight. Oh, it's an attraction. That's love. That man looks beautiful and I love him. That's love? Yes, that girl has pretty shapely body and I love her. Is that love? That's what someone told you it was? Listen on. She saw that the tree was good for food. She saw that. That it was pleasant to the eyes. Oh, I love the way you dress. Isn't that why we get dressed up, ladies? Put the perfume on, the makeup on, the eyes on, the hair on, the nose on, the lipstick on, put everything on. So somebody can see you and says, oh, you are pleasant to the eyes. Is that love? Or is that make-believe when they take it all off? You better hear me, sons of God. In a tree to be desired to make one wise. Oh, that makes plenty of sense. I can be a parent, child. Yeah, just show me how to do it my way. I can do it. Seriously? Is that love? Somebody to show you how to be wise? I don't need anybody to tell me what to do. I can do it myself. That's love? She took of the fruit thereof and did eat and gave also to her husband, and he did eat also. There you have love introduced of the world. It looks like love. Somebody told me something for my good, my own personal good. Not for the good of my person, but my personal good. Because I wanted more, and the person introduced to me more. It's the same trick that is old as time. Love is. Haven't you felt it before? Love. Haven't you seen it? Love. Haven't you desired it by watching it on television? Love. Haven't you been, listen to me, sons of God, haven't you been misled by the false concept of love? Yes, you have. Somebody said, I love you, and you believed it. Somebody said, I love you, and you believed it. Somebody, for example, like the movie we saw just recently, it was a robot movie called, what's the name of that movie? Chappie. And the robot was just, he was a little kid. And the man said, I'm your dad. He says, really? Yes. And he says, I want you to do this stuff for me, and I'm going to get you a new body so you can live forever. He says, okay, Dad, I believe you. Then when the robot found out that the dad was lying to him, he was confused about love. I thought you loved me. You was lying to me all along. You wasn't for me. You was for yourself and what you can get from me. Isn't that the misleading concept of love? A man would tell you, man, I love you. We saw another movie, and it was a movie of a man and a woman, and the woman was enticing the man, and she took the man, and she was making love to the man, and all of a sudden she stops. She says, wait a minute, tell me you love me. He says, excuse me? Just met you. Tell me you love me. Tell me I'm going to stop if you don't tell me. He said, okay, I love you. Then she went on with intimacy, and she got pregnant, and they got married, and he never, ever did love her. Never spent any time with her, because she coerced him to say love, and that was enough. Seriously? Haven't we been tricked that way, misled that way, hurt that way, deceived that way, sons of God? By this offered knowledge of love considered? It's an offered deception that is old as time. Let's begin where it was introduced. In the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 9, it reads, the great dragon, he has many names, was cast out. That old serpent, we call him that, called the devil. And they call him Satan. Called the devil and Satan, which deceived, past tense, the whole world. He was cast into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. What is the deception that deceives the whole world? Love. It's the same false love we bring before the Father and says, I love you, God. That's a lie. Who told you you love me? I told me that I love you. It's not a word. It's a child that I've seen in my own experience, like a child in the movie that we saw called Precious. And we was watching this child, and she was growing up, and she was growing up really jacked up, and she didn't know anything, and she couldn't eat right, and she felt in a low self-esteem, and she didn't know what was what, until one day somebody told her, that's not love. I thought love was hurt. I thought love was confusion and not teaching me and dirty teeth. And no, that's not love. And the lady said, this is love. Me teaching you how to read. That's love. Me showing you that you can do more than you think you can do. That's love. She showed the young girl love. Because the young girl was deceived by what she thought love was. That's what's happening to our children today. The old dragon has everybody tricked because guess what? Grandmama didn't tell mama. So mama has nothing to tell me about love. I see it today. It's a passed down ignorance from generation to generation where we start getting caught up in ourselves. Like Adam and Eve got caught up with themselves. So, okay, it's about us. We're naked now. Forget trying to do something or teach something. Adam never did teach his wife one thing. Was that love? God loved Adam. And not only to make him in his likeness, he started developing him in his image and his likeness. He started teaching him. So come on, boy, let's go out here. I want you to name all the things I bring before you. Whatever you name them, they're going to be. I'm teaching you how to have dominion here. You got to call it what you call it. Don't call it what somebody tells you to call it. You have dominion. This is not pain. This is weakness leaving the body. You make up your own mind and your own definition, like Webster, right? Sons of God, you better hear me today. We have been tricked. We have been deceived. Our mama told us so. Our daddy told us so. Our best friend told us so. The school system told us so. Somebody on TV told us so. That's not love. Wait a minute. Hold on just a second. They told me love is giving me a piece of candy. And I can have candy. And they always do things for me to make me feel good. Is that love? No, it's not. Let me tell you what love is. Love is the betterment of someone else. But with purpose. Do you think a mother really loves a child if she let that child do whatever she wants to do? And a child grows up and with bad teeth, never brush her teeth, and never learn how to wash her body the right way, never learn how to learn in school, never learn anything about how to see that I'm an important person. I got skills. A mother that never teaches you anything. You think that's love because she gives you candy and donuts and hamburgers and lets you stay up all night long? Which one is love to you? Isn't it making you a better person? And cause you to see like, you know what, I need to pay attention to the teacher. You know what, I need to wash my hands. I need to wash my face. I need to put lotion on my face. I need to do things to stay beautiful. That's love. When you're being taught to be better. As the Father was demonstrating with Adam. He was teaching Adam how to be better. By being like him. Today, our parents teach nothing. Nothing at all. A child only has a false assumption of love. Oh, they gave me candy. That was never love. We saw a movie about this woman that loved this man, and this man loved this other woman, and she chased him, and the man came back to the girl, and all of a sudden she said, you know what? I don't think you love me. I do love you, I love you. So where is it? I can't see it. I understand now what she was saying. She said, I can't see your love. I only hear words. I love you, I love you. And I see stuffed donuts and flowers every now and then, but I never see anything for me, making me a better person, giving me confidence about myself. It was not demonstrated. Then, when you grow up and your parent dies, and you sit there and you wonder, what do I do next? How do I pay a bill? How do I get a checking account? What is interest rates? You don't know nothing because nobody ever taught you anything, because love was not there. Sons of God, you better hear me today. The Father has a word for us today. It's an ancient trick, offered treat. Can I say that again? It's not trick or treat. It's an ancient offered trick, offered treat. It's an ancient trick, offered treat. It's a trick, but offered as a treat. In the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verses 4 through 5, listen what happened to the trick that was offered as the treat. The serpent said to the woman, you shall not surely die. He was tricking her, but it was a treat. Listen to the treat. For God knows that in that day that you eat thereof, your eyes going to be open. And you're going to be as gods. You're not going to be God. Or in his likeness. You're going to be as a God. Knowing good and evil. See the treat and the trick? The treat is, hey, you're going to have more. You can be independent. The trick is you won't have a connection of your husband. Really? Yes. The trick is, listen, I'm going to tell you the treat. Have this man follow you. You don't follow him. He don't tell you what to do. You tell him what to do. You're the woman. And the trick is, you don't have a husband anymore. But you still act like you got control of what? Nobody now. I want control. I'm putting my foot down. You won't tell me what to do. I'm a woman in this house. No problem. Guess what? Now you're in the house by yourself without a man to make your house a home. Did you see the trick there? And you're on the outside knocking. I'm sorry. I got to come back in and try this again. No, you missed your moment. Sons of God, you better hear me today. You shall be as God is the treat of the trick. But you shall be as God's is the offer, suggestion of every divorce and marriage, isn't it? You can be your own God in a marriage. You don't have to be your wife, and then you get divorced. There can only be one God in a marriage. One husband, one absolute authority, or there's contention, right? There's fight, there's death, there's part. Because a wife was made for the man. And if you get twisted, there shall be fighting. But the man was made for God. If that gets twisted, there's going to be fighting. But if the woman follows the man in the Lord, and the man follows the Lord, there's no fighting there. There's submission, because everything works. Every trick of feeling love is an offered feeling. Let's learn what this means of our Heavenly Father, and why, as sons of God, we must unlearn this dangerous, deadly deception as revealed of our familiar friends and familiar loved ones from birth. From birth. My mom was always there. Doing what? Well, she was there. Give me candy and give me food. Has she taught you anything? No. Did you ever have to take a bath every day? Not really. Were you concerned to do anything about healthy eating food? Healthy eating food? Yeah, like meatloaf. No. That doesn't look like a hamburger. That's all I know is McDonald's. Not taught anything. And under the guise of love, until you grow up, and then you have children, and the children looks at you like, can we have something to eat? Yeah, here's a hamburger. You have nothing else to give. Sons of God, first, the deception that causes the whole world to be tricked is love. Because how can we love God without knowing how to love Him? The devil says, if I can trick folks about the concept of love, then they would never be able to pass love down to generations. And people will look like they love God, but they will not be loving Him. They will say, look at me, I'm a Christian, I follow all the rules, and never at no time love Him. We're going to understand what that means to the Father today. What love is to him, how we can implement it. First, in seeing, you must understand the trick. And it goes like this. If you must first win the mind, the body and soul will come behind. Did you hear it? That's the trick of top salespeople, of whom I was. Top sales. Made many dollars in that field. And the great people with the personality know you got to win the mind first. Every salesperson must first paint a picture of offered self-gratification. The what's in it for you satisfaction thing. You know, what's in it for you? What's your pleasure? But we never talk about what's in it for me, my personal gain. I'm going to sell you this car, this beautiful brand new car. You look good in the car. Look at it. It matches your dress. People look at you and say, oh, nice car. You are the man. You are the woman. But you get the gratification of praise. I get the gratification of your monthly payments of $200.99 for 30 years. Didn't get that, did you? That's my gratification. I won your mind. And everything else comes behind. Like with a child. Every authoritative figure tries to get into a child's life. They don't go for the adults. Every institution of churchhood now has children ministries. We want the children. We don't care about the adults. Bring your children. We'll paint them clowns and do everything we can because we want their young minds, because we can fashion their minds to be servants to us. This church, this building, this ministry. So bring your children and let us talk to their minds for you. You must be a servant, little child, and pay your monies to me, and God will be happy with you, and he'll probably give you some things from the world like the devil promised you. Right? It's a trick of the mind. Thank you. No thank you. When do you think Eve was thankful for the information Satan shared with her to be offered with her husband? Son of God, hear the heart of God concerning love and what love is and what love is not. God never did ask Eve why she did eat from the tree of knowledge and good, of evil. He never asked her, why did you eat from that tree, Eve? God never sought of his created help for man, an explanation for not being a help benefiting man. God created woman to help man be like him. He didn't create a woman to help Adam name the animals. He could do that. He created woman to help him become like the Father. What do you mean, Henry? Does the Father need that? Yes, he did need that. This is what he told me early this morning. He told me that God is a spirit. And he created mankind out of dust and put the spirit in him. Man couldn't see nothing but his flesh with his own eyes. So God says, I need to create another flesh to let you know that you can do it. Like Job's wife was there with Job when he went through that hardship. And the only time she opened her mouth is when she was proud of Job, when Job said, you know what, naked I come, naked I go. Man, these things mean nothing to me. God bless him. It doesn't matter. Until he got to the point when he got these sores over his body, he said, I wish I was never born. Then his wife spoke up. She came to him, but she was always there. And she said, listen, man, how can you lose your integrity? You better read that scripture. It says integrity. How can you lose your integrity? Curse God and die. I'd rather you be dead than sit up here and act like you don't know him like that. She was making him become like God. It's best you be dead before you curse God, brother. And sit here and act like you don't know that he's in control of all things. Her job was to make her husband more like the Father by reminding him of his identity. And his job, the man's job, is to create in his wife the identity of his presence of God on earth. Job didn't do that. I mean, Adam didn't do that either. He didn't teach his wife not a thing. He just assumed she was like him. Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. What about the spirit, Adam?